For this assignment, I had the opportunity to interview Mrs. Patty Pendarvis. She was an office manager at Georgia Pacific for many years. Mrs. Pendarvis had 3 employees that she was responsible for at Georgia Pacific in the Gulf Hammock office and dealt with loggers, who was Georgia Pacific's customers, on a daily basis. I selected Mrs. Pendarvis for the interview as I've always thought being an office manager is something I would like to do one day. While this isn't really an entry-level position, it is something I could see myself doing as I grow in my career. There's no better way to learn about a position and how to be successful in that position than learning from someone who has already been there. Mrs. Pendarvis worked for Georgia Pacific for 30 years. Her long-standing career at one place showed that she was good at her position and took it seriously. Not just anyone gets to stay in the same position for 30 years. You really have to be doing something right. Having said that, I felt that she would be a great person to interview to learn about the leadership style that worked for her in this area of work. During the interview, I gained great respect for Mrs. Pendarvis. It was clear that she loved the job she did for so many years and strived to be a great leader. She never once seemed to be fake or uninterested in this process of the interview. She always was willing to answer any questions I had, any concerns, including what challenges she faced as an office manager. She allowed me to ask her questions about the position itself and how she dealt with different things throughout this time. She was always open with me about her personal feelings of being an office manager and when times were rough and when she had really rewarding times in this position. Every question I asked, she was more than willing to answer and go in detail about her experiences and how she dealt with different situations, as I said. By the end of the interview, I could tell that she was an authentic leader and excelled in this type of leadership. Mrs. Pendarvis gave me many different characteristics that she finds to be important in leadership. They were communication, respect, honesty, fairness, and the ability to correct. An example she gave of honesty and communication was this. When she told someone that she would do something, she always made it a priority. If something happened that she couldn't follow through, she made sure to communicate the issue to them. But she says that if there's anything in your power that you can do that will make something happen that you have promised to someone, you need to do that. It is important to be honest with them and not back out on your word, if possible. Ms. Pendarvis believes it's important to have a set of characteristics that you believe are important and follow through with them at all times. While I have not had the opportunity to see Mrs. Pendarvis in action as a leader, I believe she was a great one after this interview. She always tried to be an authentic leader. She wanted her employees to know that she cared and was genuinely concerned about them and their success. She said she could tell you the names of their kids, what was going on in their lives, and what their future plans were. Mrs. Pendarvis was concerned with both their personal and work life, which I think is an extremely important component of leadership. If your employees or followers' personal needs are not satisfied, I don't believe that their work life needs will. If they're having personal life issues, they typically do not work as well in other environments because they're very concerned with those issues going on. Not only that, she could also be considered a servant leader. I say this because she was more concerned with her employees' success and well-being than her own. She always went out of her way to do whatever she could for them and their success, and figure out what she could do for them that would help them succeed in their positions. She was never once, I wouldn't say never once, but she states that most of the time she was more concerned with what her employees needed than what she did. And I think that that says a lot about her as a person, because many people tend to be more concerned with what they need and climbing the ladder themselves. But Miss Pendarvis was never like that, and I can vouch for that, as I've also talked to some employees that have worked under her and said that that is true. So she stated that a true leader trains their employees so that they can move up in the company when a promotion becomes available. And so, like I said, while she could have been concerned only with receiving a promotion herself, she always worked hard for the employees under her instead. A key statement from Mrs. Pendarvis that resonated with me was, an effective leader is one that sets their employees up for success. This helped my understanding of leadership on a practical level, because I always thought of leadership as being an example. While this still holds true, I now realize that you must also be concerned about those working under you and set them up for success. There's many components to leadership that I had never thought of that I've learned after being in this class and watching lectures and reading the book and everything. Um, these assignments have also taught me how to put that into place. But this leadership assignment, interview assignment, has given me the opportunity to see how these steps and this different type of leadership works in the real world and in the workplace. So I think that one of the most important things in being a leader is being concerned about others, setting them up for success, helping them get where they need to be. So being a leader also means that you put into place the information or things that others need to be successful too. I really enjoyed the time I got to spend with Mrs. Pendarvis, hearing about her leadership style and what she believed was important. I feel that I am better equipped as a leader after seeing her viewpoint from a position that is similar to what I would like to do one day. I am appreciative of the opportunity and thankful for the lessons learned from this assignment.